guys, so I know a lot of you have been wanting me to make this video for a long time, and my real life has been kind of busy, so I haven't really had a chance to work on my tanks, but I actually had a weekend where I could work on everything. I'm just going to start at the beginning and work my way through. And this is Oliver. He wants to say hi. So this is my fish tank. This is my planted tank. I'm running a Phoenix 24/7 planted light on it. I love this tank, but I think I spend more time scrubbing algae than I do actually enjoying it. That's why I have a lot of the duckweed on top to help kind of filter some of that light out and help cut back on some of the algae. And then this is Jasmine. This is my female leopard gecko. When I worked at PetSmart, someone had dropped her off in the middle of a store. We moved a pallet and she was underneath. We think that she was probably about a year old when someone dropped her off, and she's extremely wild. I don't see her very often. This light does get turned off at night, as do all of my lights. This is just simply so I can view my tanks. So then we keep going. This is the hermit crab tank. So this guy right here is probably my largest, and you can see he's got a carved shell on. So painted shells are really cruel, and they're really stressful to hermit crabs because the bright coloring goes against basically everything that, being a prey animal, you should, like, if it's gonna be bright blue, an animal's gonna find you, whereas if it's a darker, more natural colors, you're gonna blend in with your environment, you're less likely to get eaten. The carved shells are a really great alternative because they come in some really beautiful designs, and you can see here, these are what I like to call the shell stations. I've got a huge variety of shells in there. You're usually recommended to have 5 to 6 shells per crab. Honestly, with as large as some of my guys are, everybody just came up from their molds. I'm probably due for a shell order. If anybody has any shell sites that they really like, let me know. I usually make big bulk orders. You can see that's my newest addition right there. He's in the very back. He's in a green turbo. He's super cute. I think my oldest here is kind of guarding the food bowl. And then down here, I have Jafar, my largest male leopard gecko. He was also a rescue, as were most of my animals. A woman had ordered him thinking that he had got him, thinking that he was actually a she, was intending to put him in with her other females, realized that he was actually a boy, and she did not want babies, so I got him. This tank is really cool because I use Zoo Med excavator clay, and I buy it on Amazon, and I generally will mix it with a little bit of Eco Earth. It helps make it stretch. Excavator clay is kind of expensive, and the Eco Earth kind of bonds with the clay, so you don't have to worry about the risk of impaction. You can see every tunnel here is actually an entrance. So he has a huge variety of places. I use plastic containers and I put the clay over them. Leo! Zoo Med, I believe, recommends using balloons. I've never really had much luck with using them. I just like the plastic containers. I know that they'll hold their shape. I know that they're not going to fall, and you can make a really huge variety. Now in this corner here, I have a Exoterra sand mat. I also got that on Amazon. The reason why is because he has his under tank heaters on this side. Leopard geckos need belly heat, and so since this is such a large tank, I have the option of using overhead heating and belly heat. This is actually an LED bulb. A lot of my lights are LEDs, and I'm slowly transitioning to the LED strips, as you'll see in some of my other tanks. But yeah, he's got all sorts of places to hide. He's got several human hides. It's a really neat tank. Leo, do you want to be part? Leo decided that he wanted some attention. As you can tell, he's really sweet cat. He was also a rescue. He was $10 at the SPCA. I think it was like the best $10 that I ever spent. So this is my ball python Raja's tank. He was not a rescue. He is my first and my only snake. I'd heard a lot of horror stories about some ball pythons being terrible eaters. I was determined not to have a terrible eater. So I did buy him from one of my local breeders here in Cincinnati, A-List Animals. Highly recommended. This tank is also similar to the leopard gecko tank, as in you have a lot of layers here. This recreates ball python's natural environment by allowing them, lots of crevices, lots of little caves, lots of holes. He's able to completely escape from the light. All of this under here is a hide. He's got a hide here, one here. He's got options here. His under tank heater is in this back corner here, and I've got one halfway on this hide, and these are actually just LED bulbs. These don't get hot. He's a super friendly guy. He's probably due to eat a rat here in the next few days, but this tank does not look like this for very long. He's very adept at destroying them. I always have to be certain that everything is really in place. As you can tell, it's very sturdy. Everything's kind of locked in there. So this is Nala, my bearded dragon. She's my second bearded dragon. She was also a rescue. Someone had left her in a dorm room to starve. They think that she had been in the room for at least a month. She was really skinny when I got her, was not very healthy, had a lot of calcium issues. But as you can tell now, she looks great. She's obviously up to a healthy weight. She has a lot of things to climb in here. I am kind of notorious for just liking to go out into nature and, seeing what I can find outside, especially like after a big storm. I bleach it, clean it, clean it off with vinegar or whatever, and I'll kind of stack them. And as you can see, she has a lot of different height variances to choose from. So, she's got her basking bulb up here, and she knows what temperature she needs to be at. So while I do check my temperatures with a temperature gun, I've got it floating around here somewhere. She knows what she needs the best. So on to my next tank. This is PJ. This is my leopard gecko, and one of my other leopard geckos, and he is actually blind. That's why his tank is really simple. And you might say, hey, why is he on loose substrate? Well, he can only eat only eats super worms and crickets that have essentially have their legs pulled off, and they go into this food dish right in this back corner, and I put a layer of Vaseline to keep them from jumping out. So I found that sometimes he gets issues with calluses on his feet, and it really helps kind of cushion him. And but he's a very cool little dude. He's a little trooper. And as you can tell, Leo, he loves to go underneath here because of the under tank heater, and I put this rug here to kind of catch the cat hair. Okay, this is Lilo, my gargoyle gecko. She loves to hide in this mason jar back here. Are you able to get a good shot of her back there? As you can tell, she's pretty fired up. She's mad at me for disturbing her. She's still a little flighty when I handle her, but she's calming down, and she's really been a great addition. Probably my the most unique animal that I do own. And I do have live plants in here. This is a pothos that I've had for literally probably over 12 years, and all of my tanks that have pothos in them use the clippings from this tank. So this is the Firebelly toad tank. Contrary to their name, they're actually frogs. I've got two little guys in here. I used to have more, but they are very messy, and while they're social, they do just fine in pairs. They're really funny to watch, especially since it's spring. You know, breeding season is here, and their mating call is actually a dog bark. So sometimes we'll be sitting in the living room and it sounds like a kennel. And that is why they do not live in our bedroom anymore, because it's not so much fun when it's 2 o'clock in the morning and there's dogs barking. And this tank is all live plants. It's I really like what it's turned into. So this is my last tank. This is my little 10-gallon. I like to call this my Southeast Asian tank. I've got the Buddha in there, and the Rasboras, the ghost shrimp down here. It being next to a window, I do get a little bit of algae, but you know, I kind of like to let my tanks do their thing, and I really like this tank. It's I feel like it's very zen and tranquil. So thanks for watching. This is Caitlin Zoo.